just like you said, we have to find how to make this thing work well. That I think that the capitalists know how to make it better, okay, but what they've got to do is they've got to get in there. First, you have to start with the following beliefs. Number one, that we must deal with the issue, okay? That you treat that risky situation, that economic and political division that exists like this, as a national crisis that we better get on looking at, and that it should be first declared as a national emergency, that it should be done in a knowledgeable and bipartisan way so that you both increase productivity and you increase a fair system. You could do it by education, you could do it by a number of things. I won't. If you start with the will and the necessity, and you did the engineering with the knowledgeable partners in various ways, you can get there. The capacity of the individual. So, does that mean, for example, you might carry it forward in the following way. You would say, not just raise taxes, but say, what are our needs that we have to meet? And how much money is it going to take to meet those needs? You start with the critical necessity, like we need to approach equal education or something approaching equal education. And I could tell you that money put into education in a certain way that will have an economic benefit as a social benefit. You could give better opportunity and you can make it more advantageous because you'll create more productive people rather than less productive people, to make more people productive and make the system fair. And I'm saying it's not going to happen. Tragically not going to happen, because you have these two sides. We have to make these people net contributors unless somebody's handicapped, to be able to struggle well and to develop the character and the capabilities that come from struggling well. That's the formula. So we agree on that formula. What can we give them to have that equal opportunity? Don't give just the money. Give the means by which you're going to operate. And you have another political party who was saying, I will not deal with restructuring it so that we produce the outcomes that are necessary to create that education and create that equal opportunity. What I have seen happen over and over again is this decline. He's describing that notion, also one generation to another, that what happens is it's the person who doesn't have anything, works hard, accomplishes something, has it, and so on. The synergist, I've never seen the synergist. All I've seen in history is these people deteriorating, that leadership deteriorating, and those people fighting. And those are what the patterns look like. You're increasingly, others become dependent on you and you're working, and you're trying to be successful. Then you approach the third phase, where I'm in a phase where I'm going to my third phase. And in that third phase, my goal is to have other people be successful without me. So you could then say, I can get informed on both sides of the perspective of that issue. And they would find opposing points of view on any issue and have the thoughtful debate about those issues. You know, your parents, the best thing that could happen is they smile and they look at you and they see how you've evolved along those ways. So you have to want that. That becomes your arc. The second thing is that you have to realize that, like anything, if you haven't done something, I have a principle. If you haven't done something 3 times before successfully, don't assume you know how to do it. Along those lines, as you start off, you have to allow enough time for mistakes and learning that's going to come along the way in order to be able to make that transition successfully. Because all these experiences are learning. That's the purpose of them all. So it's okay to fail a few of these times and then to get there as long as you eventually get there. And then you have to, help them. So, enable them. Enablement is the word, not control, okay? Once you start to realize that, and the power does not just bottled up in your own head, okay, and you can draw upon the best, then you change your approach to life. And I'd say it's the opposite. The greatest tragedy of mankind, or the greatest tragedy of individuals who together make up mankind in their dealing with each other, is they have bottled up in their heads wrong opinions that they don't know how to stress test, because they think if it's in their heads, it's right, if they have an opinion. And it's so easy to get around that if you can think about how do I go beyond that, at the same time as there's the assertiveness as you're trying to figure things out together.